Today's Bible story is the parable of the Good Samaritan. A parable is a story with a hidden meaning. Jesus often told parables to help people learn more about God's kingdom, what it is like, and show them how they can live the best life of all. What's that, Francis John? You've been given a lovely new book from the old lady who lives down the road. Well, that was kind of her. You were really surprised because you didn't think that she liked you, because she always looks cross. Well, do you know, Francis John, like your neighbour, today's story is all about someone who acted in a very different way to the way that anyone expected. Are you ready for our story, the parable of the Good Samaritan? One day, a man came to Jesus and asked him a question. This man was a teacher of the law and used the scriptures, the Old Testament books of the Bible, to teach the Jewish people about God. Teacher, he said to Jesus, what must I do to be able to live a perfect life forever? What do the scriptures say? Jesus asked him. To love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and to love your neighbour as yourself, was the man's reply. Good, said Jesus. If you do this, you will live forever. The teacher of the law thought he did this, and just to show how good he was, he asked Jesus, who is my neighbour? Jesus answered by telling him a story. There was a man going down the road from Jerusalem to Jericho. The road was steep, and there were lots of rocks and places for people to hide. The man was attacked by robbers who stole his clothes, beat him, and left him half dead. A priest was going down that road. His job was to help the Jewish people worship God in the temple. He saw the man and walked on. Next came a Levite. His job was to help the priest in the temple. He came over to the man and looked at him and then walked on. Next, a Samaritan came by. Jesus' listeners wondered what would happen. A Samaritan was someone who came from Samaria. Jews and Samaritans hated each other. They wouldn't even sit together or eat from the same plates or drink from the same cups. If the priest and the Levite hadn't helped the man, who was a Jew like them, then what nasty things would the Samaritan do? When the Samaritan saw the injured man, he felt sorry for him. He poured wine on the man's wounds to clean them and poured olive oil on them to help them heal. Then he bandaged the wounds. The Samaritan put the man on his donkey and took him to an inn to take care of him. The next day he gave the innkeeper 2 silver coins and asked the innkeeper to look after the man until he was better. And if you have to spend any more money, then I will pay you when I come back this way, the Samaritan said. Which of these men acted like a neighbour to the man who was robbed? Jesus asked the teacher of the law. Was it the priest, the Levite, or the Samaritan? It was the one who was kind to him, the teacher of the law answered. Then go and do the same, Jesus said. We've heard in our story how Jesus told the parable of how the Samaritan was the person who helped the injured man, when everyone else thought he would be the person who would never have helped. That is why he's called the Good Samaritan. I wonder, are there people who you would not have expected to be nice to you, and they have been? Or maybe there is someone you could be kinder to. You may like to close your eyes and think about them. I'm going to say a prayer, and if you want to make it your prayer too, then please say Amen at the end after me. Dear God, thank you for those people I have just been thinking about. Please show me how to be a good neighbour just like the Good Samaritan was. Amen. What's that, Francis John? You've decided to draw a picture for your neighbour to say thank you. That sounds like a very nice idea, and I'm sure that she will like it. Well, thank you for joining us for the parable of the Good Samaritan. We look forward to you joining us again soon. Goodbye, and God bless.